Okay, so I'm doing a full ritual to Dantalion. I only have 11 minutes here, it says, to record, so I'm going to try to cover as much ground as possible. I know I haven't been at this location for very long, but I mentioned in a previous video that I had my eye on a different apartment, the most beautiful apartment I've ever seen, and I got approved for it, so I'm getting the keys on Monday. And I wanted to do a full ritual to him here at his altar before I have to recreate a new altar at the apartment. So I'm going to try to go over as much as I can here while I have time of what I'm including in this ritual. I have here 3 green glass candle holders that I bought specifically for him, so these are his. Green is his traditional color, so you're going to be seeing a lot of green throughout this space. And inside of the green candle holders, there are 3 votive candles, 2 green, 1 black, all of which have been anointed with sandalwood essential oil, and all of which are engraved with his sigil. I also have a honeysuckle candle over there, which has been anointed with sandalwood essential oil and is engraved with his sigil. Honeysuckle is his plant correspondent. Sandalwood is his traditional incense correspondent because of his connection to Venus as a goetic duke. And today is Friday, which is the day of Venus, so that's good. We're facing north, by the way. His altar is set up north. One of the reasons I like having the altar present in the room, it's nice because you can always know like exactly which direction to face. There are like a million other reasons why having an altar is nice, but that's one of the things that I noted. When I'm going to bed, I like to say goodnight to him, and I can just face the altar. So in addition to these candles, the 3 votive, the honeysuckle one, I have a 3-day candle here, which naturally burns for 3 days. You don't want to light it and put it out and light it and put it out and so forth. You want to keep it burning for the completion of the spell. That's another thing that's nice. It's nice to like go to work or to go out and to come home and have the candle still be burning. It's like feeling the presence again or walking into the active spell. It's nice. But so I have here a 3-day green candle, which I painted in yellow, which is another color of Venus, my Duke Dantalion. I had a dream in which someone in the background had mentioned that he likes to be called my Duke. And here is his sigil, except that I got creative with it, and I painted a seeded dandelion at the top of the sigil. If it can focus, I actually added glitter to it too. And then at the bottom here, these are roots, which also resemble a humanoid shape. This green candle I will not be lighting, but I want to start having it present on the altar because this is the candle that I used the first time I ever invoked Dantalion. I found it miraculously. So I used to use spell candles or like hour-long candles, and I would burn those down completely during the ritual. But then I would also have additional candles that I would extinguish and reuse. And this one is covered in plastic. I was new to demons, and I was just kind of starting off. And so it didn't burn down as well because of the plastic on it. And then I ended up finding it again in my stuff and was like, no way, that's a blast from the past. But so those are the candles that I have here. There are also candles inside of this little oven, but those aren't really offering candles. They're just used to heat the oven. And the oven is steaming a cauldron in which I'm going to be placing the last of... This isn't the last that I own. I have like a big jar of honeysuckle water, a big jar, several big jars of rose water, several big jars of jasmine water that I created myself by taking the blossoms from the flowers, or the rose petals in the case of the roses, and boiling them in water, and then straining that water. And then I make a ratio, a 1:1:1 ratio of each of these flower waters into like a personalized perfume for him. So I have to use a lot more of it when I'm using this cauldron. I'm probably going to end up buying another oil burner so I don't have to use so much of it all the time. The proportions are just much larger. But I'm going to be putting the last of this container of it inside of there and steaming that. I'm also going to be spraying the room with, this is rose fragrance. And then I also have the honeysuckle fragrance. I myself am anointed with the sandalwood essential oil. When I was done doing the candles, I just kind of put it on my wrists as well. The reason that we have rose fragrance here is because rose is a correspondent of Venus. And then we have the honeysuckle because that is his plant correspondent. Sandalwood, as I mentioned, is a correspondent of goetic dukes. Incense-wise, we have 8 incenses. Let me try to go over them. We have honeysuckle incense, which is like handmade, not by myself. I got it on Etsy, but it's like fancy. Somebody, used the actual oil and so forth and made this incense by hand. So we have honeysuckle incense, we have precious jasmine incense, precious rose incense, sandal rose incense, sandalwood incense, Indian sandalwood incense, precious Shandon incense, and then this exotic 10-hour burn time sandalwood incense, which actually my phone really will not focus if I zoom in. if I could get close enough, you'd be able to see that there are these beautiful rose engravings all along the sandalwood. And then it burns for 10 hours. So that's what we're doing for incense. We also have in the copper burning bowl, copper is the metal of Goetic Dukes. I have mugwort, which is a correspondent of the moon. You can also drink mugwort in a tea. If you do so, however, I recommend that you mix it with peppermint and honey. Lots of peppermint and honey because it has a very bitter taste. I've also drank mugwort and wormwood tea, and that was even worse. But so in this copper burning bowl, we have mugwort, which I'll be burning as a correspondent of the moon. Dantalion is a lunar deity. We have both seeded dandelions as well as just dried dandelion flowers in this burning bowl. And we have dried honeysuckle leaves in the burning bowl as well. Copper, as I said, is a metal of Goetic Dukes. As you can see around the sigil, I have copper wire. This is to amplify magical energy. I also have a bracelet of labradite for intuition, which I will be charging. I like having it here because it's green. Stone-wise, I also have a bloodstone here. And I have on this custom-made ring that I had created in the Netherlands. It won't focus. It has a sigil engraved into it. It has a copper plate, silver internally, and that's a real emerald. It's a precious emerald. I've actually even read rituals in which people place emeralds under their tongue to speak to spirits. Now, what else do we have here? Oh, we have 3 wooden engravings to Dantalion. One of them is a necklace. This one right here is a necklace. So these. The chocolate's kind of a long story. We'll see if I have time to get to it. Oh, we have this wax. One of the offering videos that I did when I first moved into this place, at the beginning of this month, I was burning a bunch of votive candles, a bunch of engraved votive candles to Dantalion all at once as an offering, to welcome him into the new home. And they amazingly dried like this. I think it looks like a bird. I think it's really cool, so I decided to keep that. That kind of looks like a heart, but like it looks like it even has like a design. Like look how like the beak it's like a different color, and like it has like little tail feathers. It just did that by itself, so it's like a fucking bird. We have Pisces full moon water at the west. See, we're facing north. I like to put the libations and the liquids at the west. This the cauldron situation was a little bit confusing as to whether to have it on the east or the west. This is the east. So I decided to kind of put it in the middle. But at the east, we have incenses for air and smoke. At the west, I have the libations. I have the Pisces full moon water. Dantalion is a spirit who is associated with Pisces. His dates are in March. So this was charged under the Pisces full moon. Drink-wise, I have this one right here is for myself to drink at the end of the ritual as communion, and it's a margarita because I like margaritas. The one next to it is for Dantalion, and I won't touch it. It will sit here for at least 3 days and eventually be given to the earth. And it is dandelion wine, which I bought. It came from Dakota, and I bought it specifically for him. I bought him 2 bottles. It's running low, and I was trying to look into something else exotic to get him. I was thinking possibly a wine made with honeysuckle flowers. I saw one at my local winery that contained, they said, notes of honeysuckle and rose. So I wanted to go over there and speak to them in person about whether they used actual honeysuckle flowers. But so for his drink, he has dandelion wine. As I said, I like to leave the offerings out for at least 3 days and then give them to the earth. You can dump them in moving water. For some stuff, you like to burn it. I also have buried things, depending on, whether it can be buried. For some solids like flowers or food, I have buried them at times. Okay, so I think we covered all the main stuff. I have my spirit box too over there, which I will be using. And I haven't been using my EVP reader in a while, but I'm charging it right now so I can use it for this ritual because I've regretted not using it on several occasions. The EVP recorder is just an electronic voice phenomenal recorder. I like to have it recording in addition to my phone because sometimes my phone malfunctions. And now it's happened so many times where my phone will malfunction and delete the recording of the ritual because I like to have the phone set down next to the SP7, the spirit box, the white noise generator, to record voices coming through. And I've, on several occasions, had my phone just delete the file. The last time I did a ritual to Dantalion, I had it say, because I was forced to do the ritual during the daytime, and he is, as I mentioned, a lunar deity. But I was forced to do it during the day because some things came up and happened. And the spirit box said, do at night, would appreciate, which was kind of funny. And it also said, at a certain point in my ritual, when I'd finished most of the talking, it had said, say his name and conjure him, which was really impressive. And I know that it said a bunch of other stuff too, but the entire recording, the entire thing got it deleted off of my phone. and it was lost, and I was so frustrated. So I'm tired of, I'm sick of that, and I'm going to be using the EVP recorder again, so I don't lose these things. I have to have backups and make sure they're recorded on several devices. I haven't used my EMF reader in a while, and I won't be able to until I replace its battery, so that's out of the picture. Here are the sigils. So this sigil didn't turn out as well. And for each ritual I do, I like to burn the sigil at the end of it. So I create a new sigil per ritual, per intention, and then I burn it. And I have the burning bowl over here too, and my bell, my little singing bowl, which I use to initiate the start of the ritual. But so I'll be burning this one. I didn't like how it turned out as much. But I really like the way this one turned out, and I don't want to burn it. I think I'm going to keep charging it and having it be present in future evocations and invocations. As you can see, it has the seeded dandelion head, which is something I've taken to doing recently. These are supposed to be roots.